Welcome back to The Talk Tonight. Animal activists are speaking out now over a pit bull named Grace that was found so badly treated and malnourished last week in the city she had to be euthanized over the weekend. Now there's a group called Cuse Pit Crew. It's pushing for tougher laws for those who were found guilty of animal abuse. Current law makes neglect only a misdemeanor. The advocates want a harsher penalty, a felony. The group is now pushing a petition urging state lawmakers to change the law. So what do you think the penalty should be for animal abuse? We are talking about the segment in our talk tonight. And first of all, it goes without saying, an incredibly disturbing story. One of the tougher pictures that I've seen to look at.
It was a difficult one. It seemed like we'd gone through, at least publicly, gone through a little bit of a period without a very big, well-publicized case of animal abuse. But here we are again. We know that they're out there on a regular basis. You know, I think it was last year, there were roughly 1,000 pit bulls brought to the DeWitt Animal Hospital that were stray, and they're all put down. So this Cuse Pit Crew, Stephanie and her sister that do this work are really to be commended for taking on this breed in particular and the challenges that come with it. They're having, in fact, they're having a training session for people who own pit bulls at St. Lucy's Church. I think it might be tonight or tomorrow, where they're trying to get out into the public and let people know, you know, if you're going to take on this type of dog, they can be a great pet, but you have to know how to treat it right, and certainly feeding your dog is important. Yeah,
you know, it just seems, Matt, like every single time we have a case like this, there's always a group of people. Well, listen, the community in general is outraged, and then there's a particular, you know, vocal group. You know, maybe it's one or two, or maybe three or four who come out and say these laws need to change. You know, our Facebook page fires up with people saying change the law, make it a felony. You know, make these laws stricter, protect the animals. And then nothing really seems to happen.
Well, you know, when we talk about progress, there was a big step forward with the Syracuse Police Department adding this part-time animal cruelty officer, which is a very considerable step considering the city of Syracuse had been pulling back on its commitment towards the SPCA's animal cruelty in terms of money, or at least looking to do that. So that's a big step forward. While we talk about where progress needs to be made, at least we should highlight there has been progress. But on the state level, in the law, which goes back for generations now, dogs are not considered part of your family. They're considered a piece of property. They're treated the same as an animal, a barnyard animal, or even maybe your car getting damaged probably has more protection than some dogs do, and other animals, cats too. So that's the overall attitude that probably needs to be reflected more. That pets are more than just a piece of property to people, you know.
They're part of
but the law doesn't quite get to that, and the enforcement of the law is the other element that comes up short too.
Yeah, and Jim was talking in his piece too about how this particular petition is targeting State Senator Dave Volesky. It'll be interesting to see whether, after we have another instance here, whether this message starts to get to Albany and whether something comes to the floor.
I will add this: our Shamrock Animal Fund, which my wife and I started almost 3 years ago, and the Animal Alliance of Greater Syracuse, the Central New York Animal Welfare Coalition. We're having our Healthy Pet Clinic this Sunday at St. Lucy's Church from 1 to 4 for Syracuse residents, for people with financial need, and specifically the exact neighborhood where Grace came from, West Onondaga Street, just a couple of blocks away. So if there's somebody out there who has an animal that is sick, you don't think you can take care of it, this isn't a drop-off site, but come to the clinic and get some care for your animal. $10, you get exams, you get vaccinations, you get to interact with the vet. And that's at least one step you can take if you're kind of a desperate owner right now. But the laws do need to change and be tougher and hold people more accountable, I think, too. So we'll see what Dave Volesky can do. He's going to need help from other politicians to make that happen. It's a tall order with so much to do for Albany with regard to other legislation right now. When the Talk Tonight returns, we're talking about